Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, Crystle Sky. Make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every single time that we upload a new video. I'd really love it if you would become a part of our Mustang community here on this channel that we are building. A Mustang community of just free, beautiful spirits, free flowing, and hopefully you guys will have some fun with me on this channel as well. If you're feeling called to it, leave a comment down below. It kind of helps the channel, at least that's what I hear. And the thumbs up as well to let me know that you guys like the video as well. So jumping on into this video, I actually recorded this video about deodorant and then it got deleted. So, but you know, I took it as an opportunity that maybe this next round of me talking about deodorant will I don't know, maybe it'll be a little bit better for you guys. So, you know, everything happens for a good reason, and I love filming anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And so I wanted to jump on and re-record the video because it is such a really important video that I wanted to create. I think it's content that I really wanted to make for you guys and share with you. And so I wanted to talk about deodorant today because I think it's so important for so many of us to hear stories about deodorant and hear other people's ideas. You know, deodorant is a very personal and personalized product. So what works for me may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for me, or what may work for, you know, somebody in a different climate, you know, in Alaska or, you know, Japan or something. You know, everything, there's so many variables when it comes to deodorant. So that's why I wanted to give you a little bit of story about my deodorant journey, and hopefully it will, you know, inspire you guys to do your own research and to just kind of find your own deodorant journey in all of this, right? There's so many products and brands on the market. And so when I was younger, I actually started off, I think I was like 12 or 13, somewhere around there, when I started my moon cycles, I think is when I started wearing deodorant. And I started wearing an aerosol spray of Secret. And I didn't really like it back then, but you know, as a 12, 13-year-old, it was the only thing that I could really get at the time. You know, in the people that I grew up with, we didn't really talk about deodorant or, you know, skincare or really much about anything. It was, this whole journey has been something that I've really accumulated and researched all on my own, and all this knowledge and research I'm so excited to share with you guys. But you know, when I was younger, it was the only thing I had. And then later on, you know, after a few months, I was like, you know, this aerosol thingy just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel aligned with me, you know. So I started using the Secret Solid Stick. And that was a little better, you know, but it still wasn't in alignment with me. And then I think, let me see, I don't remember how old I was, maybe in the same age group, but I remember having a friend of mine and we were talking about deodorant, and she told me, she said, I use Lady Mitchum. So I thought, well, why not? I'll try it out. She seems to really like it. I'll give it a go. And, you know, it took care of business, I'm not going to lie, it really was effective, but it still didn't feel aligned with who I am. And so for many years, I used Lady Mitchum for many years, and I tried to research, and I knew in my heart that I wanted a natural deodorant. I wasn't too keen on aluminum, or alumini, I don't know, there's like different pronunciations. I say aluminum, but I'm not too excited about aluminum. So I want to make it clear, again, what works for me might not work for you. So if you like aluminum in your product and you think it aligns with, you know, who you are and how it works with your body chemistry, then by all means, you know, I'm not a doctor or a dermatologist, so make sure to talk to all your professionals to make a better educated decision on your own armpits. So that's my disclaimer. But I knew in my heart I've never liked aluminum. It's just something that deep down inside of me tells me aluminum is not for me, and it's not really for my little family that I have. And so I'm like, you know, I just don't feel comfortable with aluminum. I feel it's, you know, for me personally and my family, it's just a product that may not be very safe. It may be safe for everybody else, you know, but for me, I don't think it's safe. I don't think it's a good product or a good ingredient to add into your into your armpits. I think that it disrupts hormonally, and I think that in some ways it disrupts emotionally as well. So I'm not very excited about aluminum. I'm not a fan of it. So those of you that are wanting to wean yourselves away, I say wean yourselves, but really it's not weaning, but it's just those of you that are looking for another option, I think I would suggest aluminum free, because you don't want so many heavy chemicals. You're putting aluminum right here under your underarms, right? In a very delicate part. There's like glands and all kinds of things there, and it's right next to your breasts, it's right next to your boobs, your chi-chi, whatever you want to call it, but it's right there into a very intimate place, and all those chemicals are getting seeped into your system. So that is why I really strive really hard to research many brands of a natural deodorant that works, because there's many natural deodorants that do not work, and I can tell you from experience, it is stinky though. So the brands that I have tried with the aluminum is Lady Mitchum, like I said, Secret and Lady Mitchum. Those are the only two I've ever tried, and they were effective, so I didn't really care to look elsewhere. And most of the products on the market at the time had aluminum base, or not a base, but some form of aluminum in them. So I'm not too excited about it. And so as I started jumping into a deeper level of research, I started finding Dr. Teal's natural deodorant. It wasn't for me. I found it very scratching. I know that you were supposed to hold it there, let your body temperature warm it up, and it glides on. I never found it to be gliding on. I never found it to be effective, and it was very uncomfortable. In fact, it kind of left some scratches because I was really trying hard to put it on, and it was not for me. So I chucked that one out the door. I've also tried another brand of natural deodorant. I believe it's called Tom's. And that one glided on okay, but it didn't feel right. It didn't feel great, and it didn't make me feel that great as a person. And I think it was because it was just, I don't think it was effective, and I think that's why I wasn't too keen on it. So I wasn't happy with that one. I tried a couple of other natural deodorants that I don't really remember what they were called, because it was a while back, and they didn't really work. And I just kept, diligent, and kept shopping and kept researching. I know that Native is out there. I've heard good things about it. I've not tried their deodorant, so I think that those of you that are interested in it, why not give it a go? I hear really good things about it from so many people. But dun 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 dun, talking about more about the deodorant journey, what I finally found is Schmidt's. This beautiful, amazing, wonderful deodorant. And let me tell you, after years of research, years of trial and error with other brands, years of natural deodorants that didn't work or didn't feel right or weren't as creamy or didn't smell very good, you put it on and it either had no fragrance, but it still kind of smelled funky. This one is the go-to. And this one, I'm not sponsored by Schmidt's. This is my honest, true opinion from me to you, that this stuff is the most amazing brand I have ever tried. It is tried and true, and it is a masterpiece in this bottle. So I know that they have fragrance free. For me, I do like fragrance, like I mentioned before. Those of you who have sensitivities, or you have a strong belief of why you don't use fragrance, by all means, they have fragrance free, so they will meet the community of fragrance free people. For me, I do genuinely like fragrance because it's kind of like an aromatherapy, and when I smell myself and I smell good, it just elevates my vibration and makes me feel really, really happy for the day. So I was so happy to find this. I actually started out with their Rose Vanilla Signature, I believe, and I had gotten so many compliments. I wasn't wearing perfume, anything, but people were like, oh my god, you smell amazing. And I'm like, I do, don't I? And then I traveled on to getting their jasmine tea. Was the sensitive kind. Amazing, flawless. Then the next one that I did try was the lime bergamot, and I'm not going to lie on that one. I think that the fragrance on that one didn't agree with me, because I did get a little bit of a, kind of like a irritation to that one. So I went back to the rose vanilla and the jasmine tea, and then it went away. So I think it was something in the lime and bergamot that didn't agree with me, but it had nothing to do with their formula. I think it was the actual fragrance in that one, and that's my honest opinion on that. But then they came out with this one, coconut and Keolian clay, and I was like, oh my god, this is the scent. I knew it just staring at the name. I just knew it. I had passion inside of me and like this ultimate joy that this one was for me, the fragrance. I mean, don't get me wrong, rose vanilla, beautiful. Jasmine tea, exceptional. But this one, I was like, I think this is the one that I have been, you know, just excited. So I bought it, and I bought it in the sensitive. They do have the signature one. I can use signature and sensitive. I don't really notice a difference in them. But I do like buying sensitive just because, you know, I just kind of like that avenue for myself. But because I think that with the sensitive, like, you know, when your hormones fluctuate, especially for women, I think that the sensitive kind of helps that. Like if you're, you know, on your mood time and you're feeling a little sensitive, this, you know, the sensitive will help it. Not that it's, you know, a medication or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, sometimes some women are a little more sensitive to things or smells, so that's why I buy the sensitive. That way, all month long, I sometimes don't even know what I'm going to get my, you know, mood time. Usually it's sort of similar, but sometimes it's a little off, so that's why I like sensitive. But signature is just as good, and this is amazing stuff. I cannot express this enough. That if you guys are looking for a natural deodorant that works, this is it. Now I will tell you, this is my female energy side of me talking to you with this, right? But my family, who are, you know, they've been looking for deodorant, a natural deodorant, were very hesitant to try Schmidt's. I kept telling them, try the Schmidt's, but they were hesitant because all the other times they tried natural deodorants, one of them broke out in a bad rash. One of them, you know, it like made them smell all day long, and they were like in really big business meetings, you know, stinking up the room. And I think they were so biased about trying Schmidt's that they just, you know, held off for a really long time. And then finally, I think they were a little bit more open-minded to try it. And I would say about a month ago, I finally, after years and years of begging them to try a new natural deodorant, they just gave in and were like, okay, I'll just try it. And they were like, this is the best deodorant I've ever had. It beat out Degree, it beat out Dove, it beat out, you know, all the bigger name brands for men. And this is coming from them. And their reaction was wild. Their reaction was like, literally, this is the best deodorant I've ever had. I bought them, I think it was called Citrus and Sandalwood. I think that's the scent that I got them. And they said that it was so effective that they didn't smell at all. And one of them was out on, you know, doing heavy hardcore stuff with horses and things, and, you know, they were sweating all day. We have heat waves on and off, and literally did not smell one time. The other one was in business meetings. They were in buildings, so there was a little bit more air conditioning, but, you know, just, you know, having so much interaction throughout the day, doing the work that they do, you know, and having interaction with business meetings on Zoom and things like that, you know, you're constantly doing stuff. And they also said that it performed well. So there was two different settings of the males, on the male aspect, two different settings. One was more of a business aspect in a business building, and it performed beautifully. And one was a little bit more rugged out in, you know, the lands and, you know, horses and the sun and kind of just sweating, and it performed beautifully. So if you are a male watching or male energy watching, I think that you would love Schmidt's. And if you were a female watching, I know from personal experience, this is the answer to me. For me, this is my answer. It's never worked so good. I can't even tell you the amount of compliments that I get just from people, you know, saying, wow, you know, your underarms smell good. Now, how many times do people smell people's underarms? Probably not many, but I do. With my family, I like to ask them to smell my underarms just to make sure things are smelling good and make sure it's still working. And every time they smell it, they're like, it smells beautiful. And people that get close to me, I know we're supposed to social distance and things like that, but people that do close to me that, you know, like my neighbors and things that I know, you know, are pretty good about it and wearing masks and things, it will go through the mask a little bit. Now, when I say the fragrance, it is a light fragrance, but how do I amplify this fragrance? That's the key. So what I do to amplify the fragrance is I use it immediately after the shower, when your skin is most potent, you know, like tender and absorbing, and I'll put that on, and then what I'll do is I'll layer on another layer, just to give it that extra potency. Now, if you don't want it that fragrant, then what I would suggest is, you know, you could either do it after the shower or pat dry your armpits and make it kind of dry, and then stick this on it, and it will lessen the fragrance. But for me, I want to amplify that fragrance, so that's why I do that little trick. I learned that little trick many years ago, you know, with fragrance and essential oils and stuff. You always want to kind of have it on some damp skin, apply it, and then reapply it, and it just kind of makes that beautiful scent. So this kind of acts as my perfume and my antiperspirant and deodorant. So this is an all-in-one for me. But those of you that are really looking for natural deodorant and getting away from aluminum, this has no baking soda, no aluminum salts, and no artificial fragrances. So, and this one also, I do have, I'm not too keen on corn stuff, like cornstarch, and this one does not have any corn either. So there are natural deodorants that have cornstarch, and those of you that like it, you know, there's nothing wrong with that ingredient. It's just me personally. I don't think it agrees with my skin. I think it kind of irritates it a little bit. But Schmidt's, this is powerful. This is magical. If you want a magical, beautiful little deodorant, do some research on your own before you go out and buy it. You know, talk to your professionals, see what they say, but really, coming from my personal experience, natural deodorant is the way to go. And this beautiful brand, Schmidt's, if you happen to land on this video, please never stop making this deodorant. Just continue your success, because what you found is something that people search years for, and it's right here in this beautiful bottle. So those of you that are interested in deodorant, I hope that this video served you. If you're a person that doesn't wear deodorant, that's okay too. You know, I hope that maybe you learned something, or you know, you just had a good time hanging out with me. But really, overall, deodorant is a really personal thing, and we really have to try what works for us, you know. And I know that I had watched some other videos and tried, you know, like Dr. Teal's and that, and you know, and it worked for them. It really worked for them, but for me, it just didn't. So this Schmidt's is working for me. It's working for my family. It's a tip-top brand that I feel is amazing, and it really, really works. It really works. And you know, testing it out in the hottest parts of summer is really cool, because you know, then you get to see. If you do it in the winter, I mean, it's still good, but you know, you want to know, you know, how this is going to perform. And under heat, you know, and hot summer heat, it performs beautifully. So that being said, give it a try, give it a go, if you feel called to it. And if you have any questions about it or my experience with it, you can always just leave the comments down below, and I'll take a peek at the comments and you know, try to answer all your questions if you have any questions about it. But natural deodorant to me is something that I feel is really, really the best for our bodies and our microbiomes, for our, you know, just our chemistry and our chemicals, and really good for our hormones. I think that aluminum is just not a safe product. You know, those of you that like it, great, you know, if it works for you. But in my opinion, and everything that I've researched, aluminum is it can be a very toxic ingredient. And again, we're putting this on our skin every single day, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day. It depends on, you know, how, you know, what your activities are or your sports are. But, you know, if you're putting aluminum on, I don't think it's a safe product. A safe ingredient. I think aluminum is just one of those ingredients that is a toxic. And, you know, some dermatologists or doctors might disagree. Well, you know, that's them. That's okay. They're doctors. But everything that I've researched for many years, this deodorant aligns with me. It aligns with me, my energy and my energy field. And, you know, aluminum. I'm just saying, be cautious. You know, I'm not telling you one way or the other, but I'm saying do your own research, you know, get into it, get into researching your products and your brands. I know that there is a website called Think Dirty, there's a website called EWG, but you know, you can do all the research in the world, but when it comes down to it is make sure that you research everything and then reevaluate it and then take a look at it and say, see, you know, how do you feel? Like energetically, mentally, emotionally, physically, you know, your whole being, how do you feel with the product? You know, does it help you? Do you feel good with it? Does it align with who you are when you put it on? Does it make you feel better? Does it make you feel worse? Does it make you feel blah? You know, I know when I was using deodorants with aluminum, I wasn't really using deodorants, you know, as often. I was still using it often, you know, but it wasn't, you know, I tried to like maybe skip a day or, you know, because I was, in my heart, I was just like, you know, this aluminum thing isn't for me. And I was really worried that it was going to disrupt my hormones because I actually had seen it many times that it disrupted hormones in some of my female friends. And they said that when they were figuring out why their hormones got disrupted, they said it came from the aluminum with their deodorant over years of accumulation and things like that. And again, you know, this is a very, very intimate position or, you know, place on our bodies. So we really want to be mindful of the products that we use. So basically, all in all, is just do your own research, make your own educated decisions. And for me, I'm just sharing a story with you guys. Schmidt is an amazing deodorant. I probably said it 100 times in this video, but it truly, truly is. So those of you that are looking for a great effective deodorant and want to try a natural deodorant, go with this one. What I would do is try their fragrance-free one first. Use that, and then if it works fine, you can play into their fragrances a little bit more, but always start with the basics. See how the brand works for you, see how the formula works, and then you can go into different things. But I really encourage each of you to get away from aluminum. Just my own personal you know, experience and research is I don't think aluminum is for us. I think that it's a cheap ingredient that people use because it does work. It kind of blocks the pores or whatever, however it works. But I think that ingredient in the long run is probably, you know, probably gonna not be good for any of us in the long run. So I suggest jumping into a natural deodorant, and it can be a little bit like, whoa, you know, going from a chemical-based or aluminum-based deodorant to a natural-based, it can be like, whoa, you know, and you kind of have your own little doubts about it. But really, you know, when it's all said and done, if you don't like it, you can just wash it off. You know what I mean? So it's not like you're getting a tattoo, you know, for, you know, a tattoo of Schmidt's deodorant on your body. You know what I mean? It's you're tattooing it under your underarms. It comes off. So never be worried to try something new with deodorant, because all that's going to happen is you realize it wasn't for you, and then you look for something else. So I hope that this ramble about deodorant serves you, and I hope that it serves anybody who's interested in looking for a natural deodorant, transferring from an aluminum ingredient to a no aluminum ingredient. And those of you that do use aluminum, well, you know what, that's you, and if it works, then it works. But I really, in my personal opinion, if I can really encourage those of you to change over, I would say go to a natural deodorant where it's aluminum free. You know, and we just do our best to keep our bodies healthy and happy. The other thing that I noticed when I used this deodorant is that my skin was thanking me. I felt it. I felt my underarms, like in my skin, my being, like a kind of like a film had washed off of me. And that was really interesting, because I thought, whoa, you know. But it did. After a few uses, I think after a week of using it, I noticed like this film kind of washed, and I felt cleaner. I felt really, really cleaner, and I felt like, you know, I felt fresh every day and every moment. So, and I continuously feel fresh every day and every moment, for forever and infinity and always. But, you know, I wanted to come on here and do this video, and I don't know, I think it was meaningful to me, and I hope that somebody out there finds it meaningful as well. And because of my beautiful bubbles, remember we talked about the bubbles being on opportunity, so I thought I'd blow a little bit for you, because I really do love bubbles, so I thought it'd be fun to do that. It's gorgeous as it is. Well, wherever you are, day or night, we send you our love. Remember to celebrate your wins and your victories, no matter how big or how small or how big they might be. We love you on this channel. And again, we are creating a Mustang community. So those of you that are subscribing, welcome. Those of you that are traveling, thank you. And anybody watching this video, thank you for your valuable time. We love you, and namaste. Paulo, you want to come say hi to YouTube people? Good. Let's move mommy's cup, okay? Let's move mommy's cup. Say hi. Say hi. I know you got bubbles, huh?